The WWE Universe has just experienced one of the most jaw-dropping moments in sports entertainment history. In a shocking twist that absolutely no one anticipated, the long-absent Roman Reigns made his dramatic return to WWE programming, changing the landscape of the Bloodline storyline forever. Fans were left stunned as the former tribal chief didn't come back with vengeance or dominance, but rather with unity in mind. He made his entrance at the exact moment his cousin Jey Uso was being overwhelmed in the ring by Solo Sikoa's ruthless faction. The crowd erupted as Reigns charged down the ramp, launching himself at Tongaloa with a devastating spear that sent him crashing through the barricade. Then came the moment that redefined everything. Reigns turned toward Jey, and after a beat of intense silence, extended his hand. Jey, emotional and overwhelmed, accepted. The two embraced, showing that their past pain had led to renewed brotherhood. However, the shock wasn't over. In a completely unexpected and emotional display, Fatu, once considered the most dangerous member of the Anoa'i family and formerly aligned with Solo Sikoa, came running down the ramp. Dropping to his knees in front of Roman, he pleaded for forgiveness. With a trembling voice, he admitted, "I was wrong. We need you, Tribal Chief. Solo has gone too far." The camera cut to Solo Sikoa, watching backstage with pure rage on his face, realizing his grip on power was slipping. The empire he had built was beginning to collapse in real time. This wasn't just a return. It was a full-scale rebirth of the bloodline. Reigns, Jey, and now Fatu, once divided, were now standing on common ground again, ready to bring down the tyrannical regime led by Solo, Tomatanga, Tongaloa, and Jeff Cobb. Solo's faction, once seen as unstoppable, now looked fractured and vulnerable. Meanwhile, another powder keg is simmering. Paul Heyman's newly formed alliance, which includes Mr. Money in the Bank Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, has been keeping a close watch, waiting for the perfect time to strike. Rollins holds the briefcase and could cash in at any moment, especially with chaos swirling all around. But now with Reigns back in the picture, the question looms, will Seth dare to challenge a reinvigorated tribal chief? This moment has triggered a seismic shift across the entire WWE landscape. It's no longer just a civil war within the bloodline, it's a full-scale battle for the soul of the family and the future of WWE. Reigns' return has brought heart, history, and heat back into the mix. The lines have been drawn. Alliances are shifting, old wounds are being healed and new wars are about to ignite. If you're not tuned in, you're missing out on what is quickly becoming one of the most gripping and emotionally charged storylines WWE has ever produced. Subscribe now and turn on notifications because things are about to explode. When Roman Reigns leads his new alliance into battle against Solo's brutal faction, history will be made. Whose side are you on? Let us know your predictions, because the Bloodline saga just went nuclear, and there's no turning back. The WWE Universe is still trying to catch its breath after one of the most unexpected and emotional nights in recent memory. In a moment that turned the entire landscape of WWE on its head, Roman Reigns, the once dominant tribal chief, returned in a way nobody could have imagined. This wasn't a comeback fueled by anger or a desire to reclaim lost glory. Instead, Reigns arrived as a unifier, a protector, and perhaps, for the first time in years, a true leader who puts family before power. It all unfolded on an explosive edition of Monday Night Raw, one that will be remembered for years to come. Jey Uso, bruised and battered, stood alone in the ring after being ambushed by the violent new faction led by Solo Sikoa. With Tomatanga, Tongaloa, and Jeff Cobb closing in to finish the assault, the WWE Universe watched in horror, thinking Jey was moments away from being destroyed. But just as Tomatanga raised his fist for a final, crushing blow, the arena lights flickered, and then, Roman Reigns' music hit. The crowd erupted with an emotional mixture of disbelief and joy. What followed was nothing short of cinematic. Reigns stormed the ring with intensity we hadn't seen in months. Without hesitation, he launched himself at Tongaloa, delivering a spine-shattering spear that sent him crashing through the barricade. The air was thick with tension as Roman stood tall in the center of the ring, locking eyes with Jey, the cousin he once exiled and betrayed. For a few seconds, time seemed to stand still. Then came the moment that no one saw coming. Roman extended his hand. Jey, overwhelmed with emotion, wiped tears from his eyes and accepted it. The embrace that followed sent a powerful message. The bond of blood had overcome the wounds of war. Just when the crowd thought they had seen it all, another twist unfolded. Fatu, one of the most dangerous and unpredictable members of the Anoa'i family, rushed to the ring. Once the fiercest enforcer in Solo's camp, Fatu stunned the WWE Universe by dropping to his knees in front of Reigns. "I was wrong," he cried, his voice cracking with emotion. "We need you, Tribal Chief. Solo has lost control." It was a raw, vulnerable plea for forgiveness and leadership. Roman didn't speak. He didn't need to. His presence alone said everything. Backstage, Solo Sikoa watched in fury, his face contorted with rage as the foundation of his empire crumbled before his eyes. What he had built, through intimidation, violence, and manipulation, was now being torn apart by the very family he tried to dominate. For the first time since forming his own ruthless faction, Solo looked genuinely shaken. His so-called loyal soldiers were now turning to the one man he had tried to erase from the story, Roman Reigns. But this isn't just about the bloodline anymore. There's another layer to this unfolding war. Paul Heyman, the former wise man to Roman Reigns, has aligned himself with a new group of heavy hitters, including Mr. Money in the Bank Seth Rollins, the monstrous Braun Breaker, and the powerhouse Bronson Reed. They've been circling like vultures, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And now, with the original bloodline reforming under Roman's leadership, they may see both threat and opportunity. Seth Rollins, always the opportunist, holds the briefcase that could change everything. Does he cash in during this volatile moment of transition? Or does he recognize that Roman Reigns at the head of a reunited bloodline is more dangerous than ever and wait for a different opportunity? The possibilities are endless, and the risks are higher than ever. Meanwhile, questions continue to swirl. Can Jey and Roman truly put the past behind them after everything they've endured? Will Jacob Fatu be accepted back into the fold after siding with Solo for so long? And how far is Solo Sikoa willing to go now that his leadership is being directly challenged? The bloodline civil war has evolved into something far bigger than anyone could have predicted. It's not just about who leads the family. It's about who controls the destiny of WWE itself. Roman Reigns' return has breathed new life into a storyline that already had fans hooked, but now it's reached an entirely new level. This is more than just a power struggle. It's a generational war, a battle of legacy versus ambition, loyalty versus betrayal, and family versus domination. For years, Reigns ruled with an iron fist, but now, he's leading with heart. That may make him even more dangerous than before. If you thought the bloodline story had peaked, think again. This is just the beginning of a new era. The tribal chief is back, not as a tyrant, but as a savior. The lines have been redrawn, and the real war is only just beginning. Fans better strap in, because WWE is heading into uncharted territory, and the fallout from this reunion will ripple through every division, every locker room, and every championship picture. Whether you're Team Reigns or Team Solo, one thing is clear, this is the most compelling saga in WWE history, and you won't want to miss a second of it.